I'm doing the sound check. We're live now.
Okay. Can
So
you?
if you guys could just have a casual conversation, I just want to check the volume.
So, one of the things with the microphones,
Yeah.
especially with the noises back there, you kind of have to project yourself. Or I could pull the microphone closer to you, but just talk regularly. Sit comfortably.
How you see? Well,
Yeah, and
I guess I'll kind of have to speak like this a little bit.
no, I mean, we want you to free flow. He's trying to see how clear or how loud the microphone is.
Yeah, but you said that the background noise. So.
You may
No,
have
no.
to. We're just talking regularly.
Yeah, I can't hear you. Say something, Stefan.
You can't hear me?
No, he said he can. He
Is
can
that a
hear
little
you.
better?
I think.
Yeah, I just want to make sure everyone can hear you.
Yeah.
Donatella's
So we're
fine.
just talking. The microphone's like almost in my mouth.
Touching that one.
That's fine.
You said just be me, right, Mike? I mean, is that what you said, Bubba?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah, so you know me, huh?
Dave, what's up, man?
Be you. Oh. So are you on social media? Because if you're on Facebook, you can go to Bub's Facebook
Hey,
page.
Donatella, help me get the mic closer to him.
Okay, so I'm gonna stand up. Thank you. I'll take my mat. It will work.
Okay. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our post-inauguration show. We feel very, very relieved with the results of the election. We now have an actual president, an actual vice president, human beings that relate, that eat, breathe, sound normal. No more Twitter craziness. I can't even talk straight.
Is that because of excitement?
An amazing ordeal. But we're glad that it's over. Donatella, what's up, man?
Hey.
I need a minute to get my life together.
I know. You're super, super excited over the inauguration. Or I should say, it's less about the inauguration, I think, and more about the exiting of the previous POTUS. So I think we are, excited about the possibilities now that we have a new president and a new cabinet. I mean, I don't know if you watched the inauguration at all, when they were talking about the media came in and asked questions of the representative of the House, and they actually received answers. And so remember, that's not something that happened in the most recent presidency. So I think that's
we want to welcome
exciting.
our guest, Mr. Stefan Jones.
Hi, Mr. Stefan Jones.
He's a very excellent customer of mine, good friend. And he has an amazing voice. He's living an amazing life. And, we want to introduce him to the world. Let him tell us a story or two, get some of his opinions, and we're going to do this a lot, I always bring all my friends here and we talk and we express ourselves and, it's what we do. So I invited Mr. Jones to come on down today. Mm-hmm. So let's get to it.
All right. Well, firstly, let me say I thank you for having me here. And for those who don't know, which I think are very few, the food down here is great. You got to come down here and try, especially the steak or the ribs. His brother Jonathan told me something when I first got it here. He told me that if you have the steaks, it would make you want to take off your shoe and go to sleep. And I was in there yesterday, and I was very tempted to take those shoes off and go to sleep. So I assure you that.
Well, we thank you for not taking off the shoes. We appreciate that. We really do.
We don't need any corn chip infestation.
Oh no!
But I think only a little bit about me. I'm a guy who brought up in Harlem, lived Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens. Basically lived in all of the boroughs of the city except for Staten Island. I'm currently a retired law enforcement sergeant.
I didn't know that.
Well,
That's
these
why
days,
he's on the show today.
Oh,
these days that's not a good thing to talk about.
but I always love our men and women in blue.
Yeah, I know. I used to love to serve. Let me tell you.
You are full of surprises.
Well, you know something. I find that in life, you got to take things seriously. You do the best that you can do to help any and everyone that you can. And coming in here right after the inauguration is a great thing for me because it's representing a long way to change
Right.
that we need in this country.
Mm-hmm.
It's just phenomenal. Some of the things that I've seen in my lifetime rather. The breakdown of the Berlin Wall, amongst other things that I can't really think about right now. But really, I try to give people this message. Basically, keep your eye on the prize, whatever that prize may be, because it will soon come to pass. I've always used that phrase. I even remember when I first started my business in '95, and looking how far I've come from that point to now, it's really mind blowing. The different people that you meet, that you get to sit down with, you get to talk to, you get to exchange ideas. It's really a great thing, just being alive.
Yes.
And you really have to embrace it because we don't know when an hour comes when it's time
That is true.
for us to
Yeah.
say so long. So
Absolutely.
I'm not one that really likes to talk about myself too much.
I know. We just want a little brief bio. We're not going to sit here and watch you talk about yourself. We got a lot to say. We got big mouths. So don't worry about it.
The only thing I'm worried with that, if I were to talk a lot, you probably see a line of women out there.
Ooh,
We don't want
ooh.
that.
And then we wouldn't want me to get jealous.
Yeah,
We wouldn't want that.
Absolutely. So, ladies, approach with caution.
You're,
Approach with
you're
caution.
such a good partner, Donatello. You're such a good partner.
Well, but you know what it is, though? It's really about kindness and doing the right thing for people.
Right.
That's really what I think most people like in people.
Yeah. I think most people like to be treated the way they would want to be treated. Right. And I say the way they would want to be treated because I've come across a lot of people who want to be treated nicely, but they're not really nice people. And I can say I never ever, yes, you bud.
No, I'm just saying the camera's watching you, so don't forget to look at me too.
Okay.
You can look at both of us. You're doing
Okay.
double duty today.
I know. It's
Sounds interesting.
cut it out. Anyway, my dad and mother watched the show. Thank you. But what I was kind of getting to is it's funny. A lot of people like to be treated nicely, but they're not really nice people.
Yeah.
And I can say since I think I first really realized meeting you this summer, but I'm pretty sure I've seen you before. And every time that you've been here, you're always super nice and polite. You tip a little too much, but
What?
yeah,
You can't tip too much.
Yeah,
can't-
no.
There's no such thing as tipping.
I beg to differ.
Please do not discourage my man from tipping my girls.
Well,
girls-
I'm talking
my
about the
girls
tips. I'm not talking about their tips. I'm talking about my tips.
Listen, don't devalue yourself. You deserve every little bit.
That's right.
Okay, but I think I definitely say you're a very nice person as well. And it's great for people to actually do what it is that they preach, because a lot of people don't do that. They sit on their high horse and they say, and then you follow them and there's some horrible creatures.
For real. But let's get back to what's happening today. But what's next? Like, okay, we got rid of Trump. What's next, y'all? What's the next steps? We're gonna take a deep breath. I'm still taking that deep breath since
Right.
yesterday. What's next? I in particular, I'm energized. I was so energized that I actually would love to work for this administration.
Well, who wouldn't?
Well,
That-
you know, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, what you just said, I'm glad you brought that up. I think what we need to do now, it may be a little premature, but the next party that I see going in as the mayor should be the wonderful Mr. Eric Adams.
Oh, I love
Yes,
Eric
yes,
Adams.
yes,
I love
yes.
Eric
That's
Adams.
something that
Yeah.
I met Eric in a store, a hardware store on Fulton Street in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
This is about a little over 10 years ago.
Okay.
And when I walked in, when he walked in, I immediately knew who he was.
Mm-hmm.
I remember saying to Mom, "Hey, Eric Adams, how you doing there?" Everybody looked at me like I was speaking German,
Mm-hmm.
but I remembered him. He was a part of a group that was called 100
Lawmen. Yeah.
Black men in law enforcement.
Enforcement Who Care.
Yep. I remember
Those
that.
were some phenomenal guys.
Yes.
And a lot of
And they brought
other.
about a lot of change in the
Yeah.
department too.
They
a lot
did
of
it.
accountability.
And I mean, the way they moved, I was very impressed.
Yeah.
To see, they weren't like hard rocks or bullies. They were very kind,
And very down to earth, but very matter of fact.
and you could speak to them. That's what was so nice about it. But that's something that I think we need to embrace. This Palacio is coming up towards his end
Mm-hmm.
of his term limits. So I think we really need to start putting Mr. Adams on
On the map.
on the map.
All right. That's one thing we could get
he
started with
actually
this year.
Yeah. Well, he
is
actually
to
has
mobilize.
been. Yeah.
I know, yeah, they've been doing stuff,
Yeah,
but
'cause I've watched some
we
things.
need to collectively also need to get excited for him.
Right.
Just in the same way we do with Kamala Harris, us Howard, AKAs, black people in general. There was a personal connection that we felt that we had to get our person in. And I
Right.
think we should have the same attitude with Brother Eric. I recently saw him. He had a ceremony. He was invited to a ceremony to honor some of the victims of COVID, of which my brother's one, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave an amazing speech, and I recorded it, and I'm saving that. It's one of the best speeches I've ever heard, just about us, where we are as a people and our future and our relationship with Africa and where it needs to be. It's just, I never knew he was such a great orator.
Yeah, he's
So
really good.
I'm fully in support of Brother Eric.
One-
Use this place as much as possible to fundraise and get the word out and push his agenda. I also want to commend my brother Curtis Harris because he's running for councilman, 35th district,
Okay.
and we also need to support him as well. He brought Eric here. He brought Mr. Adams here last year, in fact, before COVID, like about a year ago, literally. We had a small little fundraiser for Eric and Brother Harris. No, it was actually for Brother Harris, but Eric came by to show support. So those are two people that I'll be definitely campaigning for and throwing my support behind in this new process, new season.
I think that's great. I saw Eric give they do once a month a conversation with the Brooklyn Borough president, and he's not quite out of that role yet on News 12, which is also a fan of Amarachi News 12.
Yes, we love Emily.
Emily, right? And one of the things that he talked about that really, really made me excited, I actually got to be one of those phone callers that asked him a question.
Okay.
And I had heard rumor that they were trying to make the vaccine mandatory in New York State. New York Health wants to do that, make the vaccine mandatory for everyone. And I asked Senator Eric Adams his opinion. Where did he stand on vaccines? And he said that he felt that each person was entitled to make his or her own decision, and that it should not be mandatory implemented by any government. And so
he's a real brother, man.
He's
not afraid.
He's awesome. He always has been.
And to be honest with you, he's the only one I've seen challenge the
Yeah.
Jewish community in New York City.
Oh,
He's
full-heartedly.
the only one I've seen just
But I
like.
think that comes from the 25 years he had in law enforcement. I'm a huge Eric Adams fan. When
And he's not picking on anyone. He's just
No.
speaking the truth. He's just
Yeah.
telling you facts. You know,
Yeah.
he's just telling you like he should, like how all the rest of these politicians should. Like, speak your conscience. Don't play to a certain team or a crowd or tell us what you think we want to hear. Speak your true feelings. You know.
But I think some of the other politicians can't do that because they're not out and they're not visible, except for when there's a ribbon cutting for like a new business, or everybody's up in arms. But I can say for myself, I mean, I even follow Eric Adams on Instagram, so he is always actively promoting Black and brown businesses and others throughout the borough. So that was a great point.
Yeah. So boom, Eric Adams. That's our choice this year. We want him as mayor.
Yeah.
I think right now also there's a lot of opportunity in New York City if you are a entrepreneur in terms of retail space, in terms of loans at very low interest rates, at very low bar for qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the best times to apply or take advantage of these programs. So there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of potential that can happen. In fact, it's one of the main reasons why I decided to stick around, because with all that's going on, in my frustration with New York City and its restaurant shutdown, I realized that they're going to be creating a lot of new opportunities for businesses to try to catch up. And I want a piece of that cash. So
Absolutely.
you got to stick around and get some of that, and pivot or position yourself, in a way to be more successful in this coming year. And then you just set up your future generation. So I have some things in the works that we're working on that we're going to launch this year. That it's been a while since we've launched a new business, so very excited that we're going to be launching something pretty new. First time you heard it. don't look so surprised, Stephon. Don't look so surprised.
Well, didn't you say all that stuff? I didn't want to do a plug.
No, please do, because I'm about to plug my 3 new businesses. So go right ahead.
So, I don't plug this one much, but this one, what I love about this place is that there was a time that I used to text people. I used to call, more so on Franklin Avenue, but we didn't have food. We didn't, I had to give. I needed my friends to support the business. I needed them, otherwise we wouldn't survive. And after, it was a big burden on me and on them, and they carried it, and they kept us afloat and they kept us alive. But thank God, we don't necessarily have to do that anymore. Not that we don't love our friends and we don't need them, but I'm glad that I get to meet 100 new people every day,
right?
And not have to text anyone or disturb anyone, or twist anyone's arm to come and sit and hang out with me. And that's another thing. I don't be here all the time anymore. So I can't really tell you to come hang out with me if I'm not here.
That's true. So,
I'm very fortunate to be in a position where I have a business that doesn't need me per se to be here anymore. So I'm very thankful. But this new one, I'm gonna be texting, I'm gonna be calling, I'm gonna be going back to the old playbook a little bit. But it's all in fun. It's all in fun. But we're gonna have a good time.
So I want to jump in just a second and address Brandon, who is attending the show, watching on live. So some people seem to take an aversion to my ability to eat on air. So this is not CNN, right? And we each have our independent personalities. So of course, this is Journeys from Lagos to Brooklyn. Hello, I'm Brooklyn. He's Lagos, by the way. And anyone who knows me knows my brand is My Hungry World. I eat all the time. And especially,
and you're about like 66 pounds soaking wet.
I know, and
which I hate.
I had the nerve enough to join the gym yesterday, so now I'm getting fit for my summer body, for my birthday body in March.
Kayla, I need
but the
another
food here
photo.
is great, so why wouldn't I enjoy it?
I think I saw you on that website.
Which one?
One says, what was it? I think you saw it with me, Bubba. It was, what is it? Greedy.com.
I'm greedy.com. Probably. It wasn't me. Somebody's trying to come after me. You don't want to smoke. Watch out. Kayla, someone just walked in, but I don't know if she was looking for someone. She walked right back out. No. So of course I eat on air because that's actually what my personality does on this show. But Brandon, don't be jealous. You can come in and you can dine outside, and I will come outside and sit with you. We have a beautiful area that you can sit in.
Yes, if you have not checked out our outdoor situation, please stop in. Let me know what you think. I think we did a pretty nice job. It's very cozy, very sexy. I think Dontel told me so she caught some people dry humping back there. Oh no, was it Devin that told me that?
I did. It was probably both of us. So I came here Sunday night. Have you seen the outside dining area yet?
I didn't see inside. But
you didn't go inside.
I saw the outside.
You know what it spoke to? When I was a kid, I went to a lot of camps, summer camps. And just looking at it, it looks like, how everybody's into glamping now. It's a thing. Glamping,
Okay.
Glamorous camping. It kind of looks like, you walk inside, it's heat, it's hot. And these people didn't have on any jackets. They had like short sleeve shirts on. This was Sunday. And they were sitting very close together. And when I walked inside, they literally were in the midst of making out. There's a big screen TV. There's African art. There's a mirror at one end. And so I said to the young lady, I said, "Oh, he must have reserved the whole thing for you." And she was like, "He did."
There you go. And you can do that too. I do 2-hour reservations for people.
So I'll show you
exclusively. It's a
because
nice, it's a nice little hangout.
Social distancing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I like to have one group at a time in there, just because of the way it's set up. But but our nice. People like to eat a certain way. We want our music, we want our heat.
Yeah, they had a little too much heat though. A little too much.
We want to be comfortable. We don't want to be sitting there with snot dripping down our nose into our food. So we spent some time and some money, bought a generator.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as we're here, that place is on. It's heated. It's available,
and it's got nice little lights on the outside, so it looks cute.
Yeah, we're trying, and we'll do more with it.
Reminds me back in my heydays.
What were you doing in your heydays?
Oh man, spent a lot of money. I tell you that. I always believed in treating women right.
Yes.
So,
something the guys don't do today. A lot of them.
Well, that's their choice.
Well, I think women have to demand it. I think you all need to demand more respect. What's happening from what I see, my vantage point, is that women have become a lot more hornier.
A lot more horny.
Hornier.
But how does
and are willing and are not shy about it.
But
before
that's not.
Before they were more coy about it, right? Now they don't care. They'll tell you, "Hey, listen, I'm very horny."
But what does that have to do with them treating you right? You can be comfortable in your sexuality.
When you come at a guy in like that, he's not gonna stop. He's not gonna say, "Oh, blah, blah." He's gonna go right along with it.
You're just not gonna get any. You're not gonna get any dinners and roses.
Mommy. You're not going to the big house.
But that's so hypocritical.
It's life. It's like every man looks for a woman like his mother, And usually,
What if his
women
mom
of
was
integrity,
interesting?
Look, everybody saw Michelle Obama yesterday, right? That's what guys. Me particularly, she doesn't do anything for me, but that's what guys.
Listen, I told you, don't come after her.
No, she's a nice lady, but that's what guys look at. That's what when they say
want
married, your
they
first
want the
lady.
Michelle
they
Obama
want
outside,
outside.
and what's the other girl's name? Megan. What's the other one that has the song? So I feel like men are confusing. They
I'm thinking you were to say Cardi B.
Oh, Cardi B. Well, maybe that's your man.
No.
Maybe they do. No, I'm saying maybe they want the Michelle Obama for the world to see, but like you said, the Cardi B in the house. Or
No, we like
covers.
Clara Huxtable. We do. We really do. We really do. We really do.
You like Clara?
You know
well,
why? 'Cause
she's
listen,
beautiful.
let me tell you why. Look, we're at home. Maybe the guys come over. We don't want our lady like all up under us and boo boo boo. Give us our space. Just like we give.
Claire wasn't under.
Exactly. She wasn't. No, she was doing her thing. They got together in the quiet time when the doors closed. See,
yeah, and they
talk
to each other in the bed with their full pajamas
that's
on.
Where it's at. Before all of that, just be friends. Like
just twinkle in your eye. It doesn't seem to agree with what he's saying.
How do you feel?
Well, what's your opinion?
What's your opinion?
Well, I think a lot differently than you do. But, that's how I think.
No, let's hear it. I believe me. I in all my opinions, I'm a minority. I have very strange views.
But I respect that. That's your thing. I mean, me, I'm just a little different.
Well, help me out because I'm single, and this year is about.
We're trying to get her hooked up.
Yeah, this is. Well, I don't want to get hooked up. There's a lot of hookups, but I'm trying to prepare myself. To settle down. I don't want to grow old by myself.
Right, well, can I say this to you then?
Yeah.
Do you know who I am?
Do I know who you are?
Yeah.
Other than the introduction? No.
No. All right.
Oh, so are you saying are you him for me?
I didn't say all that. I'm just saying, do you know who I am?
No, but can you help me?
I'm kind of in a little bit of the Bible.
Okay.
There's a lot of it laying there.
Okay.
But in order to get it, you have to read it and you have to embrace it.
Right. I get that. And
I see you looking over at him. That's kind of funny. It's cracking me up. It's like it helps.
No, because I'm just wondering how do I take what you're saying?
I'm just saying that I'm a cool guy. Jokeable, love having a lot of fun, whatever, but I'm very deep. All the jokes and all, that's a part of me, but basically I'm like a quiet guy. Like when you come in, you see me eating by myself.
Yeah.
That's me, really. But that other part of me, that's the showman. I like to have a lot of fun. I like to joke, have laughs and all that stuff here. But really a deep guy.
Yeah, and I think that's good for everyone, right? Because you have to be able. Sometimes I meet really handsome men that I think that are really handsome, and then they can't talk about anything other than basketball or football.
Because that's their whole reality.
Yeah, but then
I'm not saying that's a good thing,
right? But I'm just saying everyone needs to be well-rounded.
Yeah, but you see, it goes back to why I love Afrocentricity and community building, because that's when you realize it's bigger than just basketball. It's bigger than just what you take pleasure.
Unless you marry a cheerleader, then it's not.
Because you realize, what is my contribution to society? How am I helping, develop my community or help the young ones behind, so that gives you more depth. And there are a lot of guys that, that give back and give into their community, that are coaches, that are mentors.
Right.
And honestly, you find most of those guys married.
Right.
Those are the guys, because, they have an objective too. They want to start a family. They want to have their own children. They want to have their own kids. They want to have a wife. So it kind of goes along with that. And what I would say is also that women should allow men to have different gears. We're not the same person all the time. We shift gears a lot.
But that's okay. So from a woman's perspective, that's what I'm saying actually does not happen a lot. I think men, when they're around men, project this 360 part of themselves. And when they socialize with women, and part of it, I think, I've always been told the people who really marry, the people who stay in their community, the community that they were born in, that they live in,
Yeah.
they usually meet someone that they knew from wherever. Or people who
way
go
back when.
Yeah, or people who go from high school and they go to college, they fall in love in college and maybe they get married. But for those who focus on their professional career first, and you're a transient like myself and you move around, it's harder to make those deep engagements. And a lot of the people who are most attentive are the ones who should not be.
Yeah, the ones that are
The ones that are already married.
Are married. They know the game already. They know what it takes to get you there. And shame on you guys that are cheating on your wives. Shame on you.
Very true. Very true.
At the end of the day, shame on you. You're polluting. You're polluting and you're bastardizing the game because women are vulnerable. They want a good guy. You're a good guy, and you're gonna use that to your advantage to get in bed with her. And what's gonna happen? You're gonna sleep with her, and you're gonna bounce.
And then they're gonna wonder why
that
woman
woman that much more, and it makes it that much harder for the next guy.
And then they wonder why that woman is at their house knocking down on the door and keying the car and busting the windows. You've seen it all over social media, but not to make men feel like this is a man bashing thing. There are a lot of women who cheat. There are some women that marry for, maybe originally it's for love.
Yeah.
Then you end up being in a relationship for convenience because you have kids, bills are paid. Maybe you can't handle the same income when you separate. And then those women step out of their relationships also. So especially now with social media, I think it's just easy for people to hop over here real quick and hop back. Hop over there and hop back.
Fortunate for me, I must say, I don't know. I'm sure I could, if I dig deep enough, but I haven't really come into contact with women that cheat on their spouse. It's definitely less, it's more rare than men, but it does happen.
Mm-hmm.
And shame on them too if they do it. It's and a lot, and to be honest with you, a lot of them do it because to get back at their husbands.
What do you think about
they
swing?
Say their husbands he always cheats, so screw it, I'm gonna cheat too.
But what about the people who have swing relationships?
That's disgusting.
I agree with Stefan with that. I'm not into sharing. I'm not.
That's right. That's mine.
I'm not into.
So what's the difference besides the religious part? I mean,
I'm not a religious person.
You didn't have me ask my question, and we're going really left here. All right, I don't know which way.
No, with freestyle.
What's the difference between a swing relationship and then people who are Muslim who have multiple wives? I think it's the same thing. Just one religion says it's okay for this guy to have multiple women.
But you see, I think religion itself, guys, is outdated. We're too smart. The humans have evolved past religion. Religion was created as a system to control the populace. We are past that. We are not dogmatic sheep anymore. And so those kind of rules and laws and just it doesn't make sense to me. And that's why I've pivoted away from religion, because it's just some system of controlling people. So I don't give it any credence. It's not okay for a man to have 16 wives, but if a woman decides to have another, no, you can't have it both ways. We don't live in that kind of society anymore.
Okay, I had a point to that. Mm-hmm. Most of us can't deal with one. So how are you gonna deal with 20?
Well, in those societies, like my father had a friend who had about 5 or 6 wives. The man is definitely alpha dog. So the women are, you see, it's much easier. And it's much easier. It's kind of the R. Kelly syndrome. It's easier when you have a woman that you can control. It's younger than you. It's not on your level. Doesn't look eye to eye to you. In this society, your wife, like you said, is probably making more money than you, is working, so she eye and eye to you. In those societies, you're the breadwinner, you're the one providing, you're the one taking care of her. She marries out of her home, she's staying with you. So she's like almost like one of your kids. You got in one of the houses. You have a compound with like
Right.
5 different small little huts, and she's in one. And wife number 1, wife number 2, and they take turns coming to your big house, every night. So in those societies, it's set up that way. But in a modern society where we're looking at we're dealing with each other on equal planes, it's much harder, because how do you decide, okay, who comes today,
Right.
in that society? He just dictates, this is what it is, this is what it is, and it's okay.
So what's interesting, my mother and my stepfather lived in Saudi Arabia for several years, and I learned a lot from my mom. Sorry about that phone. That the difference between kind of like the Muslims that I've heard about here who want to have multiple wives is that the Muslims there who have multiple wives, they can afford it. That's number one.
Yeah.
There's less chance of the women being jealous of one another because they each live in their own house, and it's like a harem, and they usually have about the same amount of kids by that person as long as that woman is able to bear children.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a time period. I don't want to say it was Sunday, but there's a day that all the family and all the kids get together and they eat as one, as a family, so the women are not jealous. But here,
there's no such thing. Trust me, there's no such thing as they don't get to express jealousy. See,
right? Well,
but you can't tell
like
me that they're not. They are.
Well, yeah.
Trust me, they are.
If you're
they
someone,
are.
you're someone who's only having girl children, and somebody else
not
is
only
giving
that.
sons.
Every time the husband goes and brings a new wife, see, because what happens is the last wife is like the favorite. So
right.
She gets kicked to the curb to some degree because she was the favorite, and now he's brought another one in.
Right.
So there's definitely jealousy. There's definitely infighting, amongst the wives and the children, and the children, even down to like grades, who's doing well in school.
Oh, well, definitely I believe.
It's a very political situation.
Yeah, but I'm just speaking more monetarily.
Yeah, I don't understand why, like Stefan said, why would any man put themselves through it? It's crazy.
Well, I think, to me, so I've been approached by people who have women who explain why they can have other women. When I went to Africa last year, I was approached by a few princes and why it would make sense for me to be an additional wife. And some of them, the way they explained it, it's more attractive than being single. So, like, for instance, one prince told me, oh, you could go back to the States, you'll have a house, you'll come here once a month, you'll be wife number, I think one told me 2, one told me wife number 4.
So are you allowed to have another guy?
Hey, I'm American, so I went there. So I said, well, why would you do all of this, and then I'm seeing you for a week, once a month? That's 12 weeks out of the year. I said, so what happens when I'm hanging out with my boyfriend Donovan?
Exactly.
And he's like, oh, no. Women can't have additional men.
That's crazy.
And then he said, we're allowed to kill you if that
That's
happens.
crazy.
I differ a bit. I want the soul.
The soul.
I want the soul.
You don't want to share. I mean, I get that. That's what monogamy is. But I feel like why I'm single now, I don't feel like in my age group, or the people that I readily associate with, that people are monogamous. I don't think people believe in monogamy anymore.
No, I do. But not just to piggyback off that, because a lot of people in the Afrocentric community feel that, the white man made it that we shouldn't have more than one wife. Listen, I say that's bullshit. You can be Afrocentric and be African and be completely content by having a nuclear family and having one wife. It does not make you more African to have several wives or more traditional. Listen, certain things we have to get modernized. Certain concepts, certain ideas, we have to bring them forward to make it make sense in the world that we're living in.
Right.
And right now, I just don't think that's viable. What was your question? You said.
I don't remember.
She could die.
No, I'm corresponding with people in,
Yeah, yeah,
in the
I
chat and
am
on
too. I
social
am
media.
too.
I think, for me, this year I'm trying to be more open. Last year I could hide behind the excuse of the pandemic. Um, I'm not worried about dating. I don't care that I'm not seeing anyone because everybody's so contagious. But now
Oh,
that
you were saying monogamy is
yeah,
bad.
monogamy. I don't think people believe in monogamy. The vast majority of
It's
people
not that they
I
don't
know,
believe in it.
they
It's
don't
that
practice it.
they succumb to lust. They
But
see
that's
a
the same.
very
That's
they,
the same thing.
but it's not so much they don't believe in it. It's just that they just have no discipline, and they're
No.
willing to lie, cheat, and steal. That's all it is. Because you can't tell your spouse, hey, listen. As long as you can't tell your spouse, hey, listen, babe, I saw this girl at the bar the other day, and I want to sleep with her. If you can't tell her that, you have no business doing it.
Well, so what people use as an answer for that? What the other person doesn't know won't hurt them. I hear people say that all the
Deception.
time.
That's called deception, deceit.
Yeah, lies.
That's bullshit.
And that also could be called chlamydia or herpes.
Exactly.
And people forget that those diseases
They're
are
still
around.
going around. Gonorrhea, all of that.
Well, speaking of gonorrhea, did you hear that in the UK, gonorrhea is at an all-time
Good
high
Lord.
because of the pandemic? So
I just thank God in my life I never had that shit. Like I always heard about it, but
yeah, it's
thank
green
God.
or something like that.
And that Jesus, syphilis. I've seen. My parents owned the hospital back home. I've seen a guy get his penis cut off. He had gangrene in his penis.
They replaced it?
No.
With a prosthetic?
No, this was in the 80s. No prosthetic, nothing. They cut
No,
that joint off.
they were putting other stuff there. So he just has.
Look, no, listen. There are a lot of slavery. They did a lot of that. The Arabs
then he died, didn't
the
he?
Arabs neutered black men the most in the history of humanity. Arabs cut our balls off, cut our dicks off, all the time. Absolutely. Arabs are wicked.
Man. I didn't know that. I didn't know. I know the Arabs are the same ones that have those camel races where they kidnap little kids from different communities between the ages of 3 and 5. Obama had a whole human trafficking initiative to stop that. Yeah. When I was first thinking
savage stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I was going to throw it. A joke. Everything comes around the joke with me.
That's right.
It's like in the movie Money Train. Remember when the guy told Rusty Stanley, "Oh, you got big onions?" He said, "Come over here. I'll cut them off for you."
Oh yeah, Money Train was a good movie.
You remember that part, right?
Yeah.
Come over here. I'll cut
That
them
was
off
with
for you.
J-Lo. Wasn't J-Lo in that?
Yeah.
In Money Train,
Yeah,
yes,
J-Lo.
Wesley Snipes and
J-Lo was in it.
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's getting uptight and in a stitch over J-Lo and her performance last night.
Because she spoke Spanish. And
not because she spoke Spanish.
Why?
She said the phrase "Let's get loud."
What's wrong with that?
So I am afraid I'm a little bougie to understand what the phrase meant.
One of her songs.
It's a lyric from one of her songs, right?
Let's get loud. Let's get loud. You remember that one?
No, but so to me that would make sense. But she put it in. It was Land of the Free, and then she said, "Let's get loud." And Twitter
stop
erupted.
Being so uptight about everything. Let people
I
live.
love her. But she's
cool.
Jenny from the block.
And that's the thing, why do we have to be totally in love with people for them to be acceptable? People, everybody's not gonna do what you like. Just be cool. Let it go.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta cancel her. You ain't gotta I got an issue. I got an issue. No.
They can't cancel J-Lo though.
Leave her alone. I know I heard about people have been upset about the Spanish she spoke.
Oh, the Spanish as well?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
But some people just have something to complain about in general.
But isn't
that the epitome of having a free mind and free will? You're entitled you're entitled to give your opinion. You're entitled.
I hear what you're saying.
You can say it as long as you don't. What's that old fable? Bricks, sticks and stone may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
How about this phrase?
Uh-oh.
No, it's not bad. It's just sometimes it's better just you think what you want. Just don't say anything.
Yeah,
How
but
about that?
I was at this grocery store yesterday, and this lady, she had a disabled, like maybe her daughter was disabled, and her son was quiet.
Mhm.
And if you saw the way she, like the abuse that she, I mean, and this kid,
The abuse
he
that
didn't do nothing.
she
Like,
was inflicting on her kids.
yes, on the boy, like you ain't got no job. I own you. I pay for everything. You, I mean, just and the kid is just quiet.
Is
And,
a kid? Is a
like
kid?
he made a,
Is a kid a minor?
no, he's like 20.
We're gonna see them in the news one
And,
day.
and you know, she has her gloves on. You know, she's just one of those anal people. Like he probably just like touched a bag or something, and she went off on this little boy. And I'm sitting there like, I wanted to. It was so bad. I wanted to say something like, "Can you stop?"
But see, that's the problem with our community. People see things, they don't say anything because everybody's like, mind your business. I'm so tired of seeing that all
No, I had
over
to rush
the
back to get
internet.
here. They need the onions.
But the other part is that I think that's could be directly what they've been talking about for the last year with the corona fatigue and the amount of
No.
domestic abuse that's increased, that people have been shut in, people have lost jobs, people have lost wages, people have lost homes, people have lost lovers, lost family members, and everybody is just uptight.
Yeah,
And
but
so
this to me. Look, I'm a good.
it
Look,
could be
I
rooted
saw-
from anywhere.
I think mean people suck. I see that this woman as a bona fide mean person.
But the question is, why is she
I think
that
she's
way?
just that way. I understand what you're saying happens too, where people snap because of all they're going through.
No, the
But there's
20-year-old
some-
is gonna snap,
He gonna snap eventually,
and he's gonna
he
be on
probably
the
end up
news.
killing her.
Yeah.
You know what I saw one day? I was on the bus, and this lady told this kid, I shouldn't have laughed, but it was the
I'm
way she
already
said
laughing.
it. She said, "You were stupid about him, just like your father."
Oh no!
And then, me and the bus driver, we looked at her and said, "We got another lady hater here coming up."
Yeah, the boy. Yeah.
But why would you say that? The kids had nothing to do.
With
You
your
got together
issue
with
with
this
the
guy.
exactly.
You produce him.
Well, because she doesn't have the ability to take that aggression out on the father. So the only thing is to take it out on the closest resemblance of him. I mean, that's just what I see people do. Or even when you just talk negative about the other person, like what's equally as bad, the amount of men that speak negatively about their baby mothers in front of their kids.
Shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be done. I'll give you a little something in my life. I shouldn't talk about it, but I'll do it. I had one boy, they tried to destroy me. I just left. Everything moved on. And do you know about a week ago, an aunt of mine told me that she emailed her.
See what?
She emailed my aunt.
Someone emailed his aunt.
No, the one I was married.
Oh, the woman you were married to. Okay.
So I'm like, wait a minute. She didn't just email you. You two have been talking all along.
Oh.
Because this is how I think. I hate
Yeah.
folk. So, you're such a kind-hearted guy. And this, but when you were trying to destroy me, you weren't thinking.
Well, what do you?
No, but let me tell you, I said I don't want nothing to do with that one anymore.
But
I am finished.
right, but so good point. So someone asked me recently, if you're in a family and there's a marriage situation, if the marriage in the family separates, the person who's not the blood relative, do you cut them off? Because it sounds like the aunt kept a relationship with your ex-wife.
But you know what that was all about? Being nosy.
The wife being nosy.
Trying to see what I'm doing. I'm done with that.
Maybe she just likes your aunt.
So why would the aunt tell me that she says how nice I was?
Well, maybe.
I was nice.
Well, you know what? Sometimes when people, maybe I should be a therapist. But sometimes when people leave a situation and they go out and they experience that the
What's out
grass
there?
is not greener,
Yeah.
then they come back to what they know. Sometimes people just need a break and they don't know how to say, hey, we need to separate for a little while so I can get my composure.
I have a little rule that I practice, which
What's
is
that?
Rule.
no. I think with your significant other, don't go to bed
Angry.
like not speaking to each other.
I
Or
agree that.
if you don't wait, or if you do go to bed angry, when you wake up, say good morning, act like
Nothing happened.
nothing happened.
No, you can't act like anything happened. You have to address
gotta-
it. You have to address it.
That's my rule.
No, because that's a cop out.
No, that's it. That's a Scorpion.
Scorpion rule. Yeah, no.
But you see,
Okay,
it works. But listen,
They're selfish.
it works for people that believe that they're not really gonna break up. Like there's nothing that's really gonna break them up.
Yeah, but
You know.
why? But why? Do they know that outside is worse? Again,
But it's not about like you're not even thinking about outside. It's just you're just like you have an argument. Shit happens. You know what I'm saying? You get over it. Like especially if you have two stubborn people that don't want to apologize to each other.
Oh. But then one day all the arguments come out, don't they?
Can I throw a funny joke in there?
Of course.
Everything always comes back to a joke with me.
And we need that.
I remember I was dating this one Jamaican girl at one point. And something I did, she got angry. She told me, she said, "You stupid like a goat."
Stupid like a goat.
So I said, and she said, "You walk right in the fire." I said, "Yeah, the only difference is I walk in and I walk right back out."
Yeah. She was pissed. Because that was supposed to upset you and you just laughed at it.
I mean, it was her opinion.
That's
But if
her
I'm so
opinion.
stupid, why did you get with me?
Yeah, that's the question.
That's
But you
always
did
tough.
say you like to spend a lot of money back in your day.
Oh, I sent her son when her son graduated from high school. I sent him to Hawaii. I paid for it.
See?
I don't
See?
look to brag on what I've done. I give away a lot of money, but the money isn't the point.
It's the experience and the gesture.
Doing
The
people
friendship.
right. That's what's important. Because money can leave you. With all these good things that I've done,
Right.
I would always sit down to myself and say, "Well, I remember when I did this. I remember when I did that."
No,
If you
that's
sit down
true.
With a bunch of money, you never did anything to help anybody else. What's the point?
What's the value of it?
Yeah, that is a great point, and it's one of the problems in our community globally. In that, guys, I would say, guys, Nigerians will work here, save up thousands of dollars, and go home rather than start a business or start a mechanism in which that money can multiply itself. They'll just spend it, give it away, da 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 da, and
Come
they
back.
look like, yes, they're rich, they're the big guy, they're the big man. But when you leave back that community no better than you know what I'm saying, no better than it was before you came. They eat and shit that money out. They're gonna buy drinks and coke and eat food, and boom, it's gone. Why don't you spend that 10,000 rather than frivolously show off with it or build a house that no one's gonna live in? Set these people up with a mechanism.
Because everybody doesn't have the entrepreneurial
But
spirit.
no, we it's not even that everybody. We have to start thinking in these terms. We can't continue leaving manufacturing and everything else to other people. We have to get in the farming. We have to get involved. We have to do it.
Right,
We can't just
everybody doesn't have
import
that spirit.
chicken and import beef from Brazil. No, you go out there and get some cows, get a herd. Create a farm.
Do you remember what you said to me one time about someone from your country that they had to sell a kidney?
They had to.
Something was bad and they had to sell one of their kidneys to do something.
Yes.
That thing bothered me.
Yes.
That thing ate me up.
Yes. People are so desperate for money. They're so desperate for money.
That's no different
They're
than
selling their
people.
organs.
But there's a long-standing line or practice of people donating eggs for money as well. It's a lucrative a lucrative market. I remember when I was in college, there was a few young ladies who were having trouble with their tuition, and one of them opted to do something else, you know, sell eggs as opposed to go strip at a club. But
I think that's
yeah.
a big difference, though.
Well, keeping in line with our theme this year, we're gonna try to keep the shows under an hour. So,
Awesome.
you know, we'll do more, but they'll be shorter. You know, not just once a week, but but we always try not to miss our typical Thursdays.
Yes.
So,
I spoke to your brother before he departed from us. At some point, I was going to invite some of you guys down in Florida to the golf course.
mm,
You know,
that'll be nice.
As soon as I get everything together where I like
We'll
to.
make it a Jonathan Adelwoman Memorial trip.
Wow, this guy's
That's nice.
marketer here.
Super brander.
Yeah, but I mean, because I spoke to him about it.